We are laying down the law. I am your host, Steve Foster, along with, the former All-Pro NFL quarterback. He part of the show, too. That's right. You know him, Jeff Blake.
Hey.
What's up, man?
What's going on?
How you been?
I've been great.
Okay.
See what this Cowboys going to do today.
All
hey,
right.
you know what? Speaking of
what's
Cowboys.
What's up?
What's up with the Spurs? You know, I picked my teams this
I
year.
saw that.
What?
Yeah,
He picked the Spurs.
I picked the Spurs as one of my teams.
God is coming back.
Now, I picked two teams. I picked two teams.
Who'd you pick?
I picked the team in the West, and I picked the team in the East.
Who's your team in the East?
The Bulls.
Not a bad pick.
So I'm a Spurs fan, and I'm a Bulls fan. Now, if both of them meet in the championship,
Got to flip the coin.
I got to flip a coin. But as of now, Jeff Blake,
That's who you riding with.
I'm riding with the Spurs in the West and the Bulls in the East.
Now you can officially take him to the AT&T Center.
Now,
Yeah.
and for those of you who are new to this whole dynamic,
This has been a 3-year deal here.
yeah, because Jeff Blake has never had an NBA team that he's really latched onto and followed.
Right.
It's never been anything he's ever done.
Right.
So this is interesting.
We'll
Stay
mark the calendar.
tuned.
Stay tuned.
Stay tuned.
Well, let's without further ado, let's get into this hour, and pleased to have somebody who not only can cover the University of Texas football team and be our Longhorn insider like Sean Adams. However, he also, and Jeff Blake, I want you in on this one, has opportunity to vote for the Heisman Trophy candidate as well. So without further ado, we welcome our friend to the show, Chip Brown. Chip, good morning and welcome back to Laying Down the Law.
What's going on, fellas?
Hey, Chip.
We're happy to have you, man. How are you? You've been flying, moving, and grooving all throughout the United States doing what you do.
Oh, yeah. I was in Lubbock this morning. Now I'm back in Austin. Only the garden spots for me.
Exactly. Well, a heck of a win for the University of Texas last night. I liked what I saw rushing. Jonathan Gray, and people probably don't know this, his dad, James, was a running back at Texas Tech. And, in fact, here's a little side note for you, Chip. I used James's ID to get into the rec center and play hoop, man, when I went up there and visited.
Come on, man. Come on.
Yes, absolutely. That was me. So, I guess have to find that young lady, and then, I can have a Jonathan Gray or Steve Foster or something like that too, man. It can happen.
Well, I mean, what's the holdup? Come on, Foster.
Right. All right. No hold up. Does the University of Texas
I say hold out.
hold out? Okay. I'm going to run through you and Jeff Blake when it's all said and done to get it figured out, because I know y'all are doing well as dads, and I want people to know that. But I also want to ask you the most important question: can the University of Texas get the 6 wins and become bowl eligible?
Well, I do not think so, but, we'll see if Tyrone Swoops can take another step. I mean, he's going to have to take a big step next week when they take on West Virginia. I mean, what a game that was, West Virginia and TCU.
Yes.
Clint Trickett, Kevin White. I mean, what can you say about this guy? He's just been unbelievable. No one can stop him. Mario Alford presents a challenge on the other side, a receiver for West Virginia, and they're running the football better. So, and their defense is playing better. I know that was a high-scoring game, but come on, TCU, they've been averaging 50 points, 50 points plus per game. And, what a turnaround for that offense under Doug Meacham and Sonny Cumbie and Trayvon Boykin. Both TCU and West Virginia remain on the schedule for Texas. The road trip to Oklahoma State looks winnable, but even that's, uncertain because you don't know what Texas team is going to show up. And Charlie Strong even said that after the game last night. He said, I don't know what team's going to show up. So he was happy that a team that got after it in the second half, really from the second quarter on, showed up last night in Lubbock.
Absolutely. We're talking with Chip Brown. You can hear Chip 6 to 10 a.m. Central, Monday through Friday on the Horn, 104.9 up in Austin. Also, you do some Sirius XM work on Sundays too, huh?
Yeah, tonight, 7 to 10 Central on Channel 91.
Can we blow you up on that one? Can we get a little bit to see what's going on with you on Sunday evening?
Yeah, Dan Hawkins and I, we break down all the college football across the country, and as these These rankings are coming out now from the selection committee for the college football playoff.
Chip, who's your top 4 picks?
My top 4 going into this week was Mississippi State, Florida State, Auburn, and Oregon. And I would probably stick with that right now.
You think
good.
a one-loss Oregon can beat a one-loss Alabama?
I wouldn't put it past them. I mean,
that's a tough question,
It's a
boy.
big
That's a tough
big
question.
Chip. I mean,
hey, I saw a little fire from Marcus Mariota now. I know Stanford's offense is hurting, but that Stanford defense has been pretty good, and Oregon got after it. Now, you put them in a neutral site. I saw Trevor Knight carve up Alabama last year. I'm just saying.
Right.
Hey,
yeah, but
Marcus
I mean,
Mariota neutral
yeah,
site.
but Alabama right now, as the way they are playing and the way they are.
Well, Chip, you know, Jeff Blake has an SEC bias. His son was a national champion at Auburn with.
Well, I'm
Cam
just
Newton.
saying.
Auburn, not Alabama.
Oh, I'm just saying because the SEC West is a very difficult division to play in, conference to play in. And I was telling Steve on the way up here, if Florida State played in the SEC West, they'll have 3 losses right now.
No, I agree with that.
Absolutely.
I agree with that.
There's no way they could play LSU, Auburn, Alabama, Texas A&M. Those teams back to back to back, week in and week out. There's no way they can do that and still be undefeated.
Well, we're about to find out about Alabama because and I know that the meat is still on the table at LSU. They get Mississippi State at home and Auburn at home. Their toughest game, obviously, at Ole Miss. They lost. But they're going to be able to prove that they deserve to be in the top 4 here down the stretch.
We're talking with Chip Brown. You can hear him tonight on Sirius XM Channel 91, but also Monday through Friday, 6 to 10 a.m. on 104.9 The Horn up in Austin. You can check out the apps and tune in radio and catch up that way as well. Let's talk Heisman. You are one of the voters. Our own Jeff Blake finished in the top 10 in voting. So his perspective is very interesting to me as well. Number 6. Tell us your top 4 or 5 guys right now, Chip, Heisman watch perspective.
Well, I would put Dak Prescott and Marcus Mariota up there. I know, one guy I would really push up there right now is Senquez Golson from Ole Miss, who had another interception this week, 8 interceptions.
But Chip,
already.
DBs never win the Heisman.
Charles
I
Woodson.
know, but you know what?
Charles
he was
Woodson.
one.
That is one of the best defenses in the country, and if Bo Wallace had a noggin on his shoulders, that Ole Miss team probably still be undefeated. How about that? How about that game last night?
That's an awesome game.
With Laquan Treadwell coming up, an inch short of the goal line?
Yes.
That was unbelievable.
Yeah.
Chip, how this is one thing that I found very interesting, and you and I get to talk offline and sit down, but the listeners don't get. Tell us all the things that you get sent with all these Heisman hopefuls, the types of information and campaign stuff that you get sent prior to you mailing in your ballot.
I've got so many notepads with so many different players on them. I mean, you can't believe the players that are getting run. Everyone from Chucky Keaton at Utah State to Anthony Boone at Duke. But it's great. I mean, it is great. I'm a college football junkie, so I love it. I take it seriously. It's an incredible honor and responsibility, and I think it's going to be a lot of fun. I think we have really good candidates this year, and I think it's going to be right down to the end.
Do you get? Go ahead,
Chip.
Yeah.
Do you have any running backs in your Heisman look right now?
But my boy Amir, the guys from
Nebraska.
Wisconsin or Minnesota.
Amir Abdullah has been up in my top 5 for sure. Even after the sort of washout against Michigan State. I love Todd Gurley. I mean, it's a shame that that situation has happened because I think he's been unbelievable. He's been up in my top 5, and I'm looking at Amari Cooper, but I'm looking at Kevin White, too, at West Virginia. I mean, this guy, every week, you have to stop him, and no one's stopping him. So, West Virginia, if they take some more losses, it's going to be tough for him to get into that top 5. But like I said, I mean, you got so many good candidates. I mean, you can look at Melvin Gordon at Wisconsin. It kind of looks like a Jamal Charles starter kit, But
what about Boykin at TCU?
Boykin, or your boy Baylor?
Yeah.
Who?
Boykin at TCU.
Yeah, Boykin. Obviously he had a little bit of a rough day yesterday, but he's been fantastic. I mean, I put him in my top 5 last week, and I got to kind of sit down and go over everything today. I've got college football final here going because it was so late getting out of the press box last night. But I think Boykin is a great story, and if TCU keeps going, he's going to move up. And Everett Golson's had a really good year for Notre Dame, so I think it's going to be great. I think we have great candidates, and I hope a guy like Senquez Golson gets a look from the voters because obviously that loss for Ole Miss last night just crushes them, but that guy has done it every week, and he's done it against the best teams. He had the interception that sealed the win against Alabama. He had a pick against LSU, another pick last night. He's been the biggest playmaker on a great defense there at Ole Miss.
Awesome. We're talking with Chip Brown. Chip, how can people follow you on Twitter? Again, tonight you're on Sirius XM, Channel 91, and during you're a busy guy. You're kind of almost like me.
Tell you what. I'm like a cab driver, just trying to get jobs. But, follow me on Twitter at Chip Brown HD, and HD stands for Horns Digest. That's where I am, hornsdigest.com, covering Texas on the Scout Network. And if you've got Sirius XM Radio tonight, 7 to 10 Central, College Sports Nation, Channel 91.
Let me ask you this, because you know all, and you have the back channels. Any idea what the suspension for Kenny Hill was about? Any idea?
I heard it may have altered his senses.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah,
understood.
Yeah.
Understood.
It was a cloudy day.
Cloudy day.
Man, when are people going to learn that these types of things will not be? There's too much money in these sports.
It's not that important to them. That's why. And until somebody sits down and explains the importance between having a good time and your future for your money, until somebody actually sits down and break it down to you, you won't understand until it's all gone and taken away from you. Then it's too late.
Well, you can't end
that game. That had to scare Aggie fans yesterday.
Oh yeah,
that was a close call with ULM at Kyle Field.
Yeah,
and ULM, they do that to everyone, not just A&M. I've seen them when Emory was at Auburn. They almost beat Auburn, so they do that to everybody. They're a decent team. Don't sleep on them. They will beat you if you let them.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they don't have my man Colton Browning anymore. I love that guy.
Right. Yeah, DC is my high school teammate, Troy Reffett. And was happy to see him after the game. He was very disappointed. He comes from championship football. I made sure that as we grew up in the neighborhood and went through the 5A playoffs, and he was definitely one who stood out playing in the secondary through college as he played, and now he's been coaching for double-digit years. Chip Brown, thank you so much. I know you have work to do even on this Sunday. It's not your day of rest, but we certainly appreciate all the good information that you provide on air, satellite, radio, hornsdigest.com, and keep us apprised, man, of your thoughts as this Heisman race heats up, and I think a lot of the college football playoff stuff is going to heat up, too, over these next 2 to 3 weeks.
Hey, you got it, guys. Anytime.
Appreciate you, Chip. Take care, my friend.
All right.
Okay, we're going to take the sidebar and come back with our own Cowboys insider, Judd Garrett, get the latest on what's going on. We know Tony Romo's not going to play today, a guy who I thought looked pretty sharp, and we'll get some more comments from our own all-pro quarterback, Jeff Blake, about that when we come back right here on Laying Down the Law.